Welcome to Tech Tuesday on the Final Boss podcast, where innovation meets attitude, and the future gets decoded one byte at a time. I'm your host, Turbo the CEO, and your co-host, Mike Foth. And today we're diving deep into the tech trenches to uncover the tools, trends, and truths shaping tomorrow. Whether you're a code slinger, gadget geek, or just tech curious, this is your weekly power-up. So grab your controller, plug in, and let's level up.
Welcome to the Final Boss Podcast, Tech Tuesdays. Give me a second. You see y'all wonder why I wear glass. My eyes are so light sensitive, man. Blame it on multiple deployments in the desert. So I need to wear the shades to protect my eyes. So that's why I have them. And the light is definitely lighting tonight, man. My eyes are on fire. Look. Welcome, everyone. It is Tech Tuesday. It is Tech Tuesday with the Sensei. He is here. I am here. We are here. This is the Final Boss Podcast. We're on this enigmatic journey, right? We're on this journey together, man, with you, right? Because we're on this journey together, right? Building community and doing all of the things, man, building the Final Boss Nation, Final Boss community, Final Boss podcast, Final Boss family, Final Boss everything. And listen, speaking of which, if you haven't gotten the Fired Up train, all aboard, go time the Fired Up train, where all books are sold. This is your motivation workbook, your motivation textbook right here, people. Go pick it up, right? Go pick it up. Go time, all aboard the Fired Up train, where all books are sold. Now we got that out of the way. Listen, if you haven't had a chance, go pick up, go to our website, right, at www.thefinalbosspodcast.com and see all of our episodes, each and every last single one, going from season 1 to season about to be 4. We are at episode number 188. 188, people. 188. We are 12 episodes away from episode 200, which was end season 3 and start anew with season 4, the rebirth, right? The rebirth, man. We have some great things in store for you for the rebirth. And man, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Look, please continue to like, share, subscribe to our content, to no matter where you see us at, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Instagram, or for your listening pleasures on Spotify, right? Or did I say Instagram? Okay, we're everywhere, right? We're everywhere. So we're everywhere. Go see us, man. We're out there, man. And shoot us some messages, shoot us a DM, shoot us an email at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. That's info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. He is the Sensei. Oh, wait, before we get into how the Sensei is feeling, hold that thought, Sensei. I know you're ready. To each and every last single one of you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It is Tech Tuesdays, right? So, Sensei, how are you feeling, sir?
Oh, feeling great. Go Hawks.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations to the Seahawks. Hey, man, congratulations to Cooper Kupp. He will always be a Rams to me. You know, he's with you guys. But he's a Ram at heart. Trust me. But that was a great defensive matchup, man. You guys really pulled it off, man. Shout out to your team. And you know what? Shout out to the early birds who are joining us right now, man. Molly, John from Affirmations, to the beautiful Andrea, to Molly, and to Shakandi, and to Deepak. I see you, Deepak. 1 million Deepak. Thank you for joining us. Listen, and to everyone else that's out there, you have to be part of the early bird to get a shout out. So get here early so we can address you and give you a shout out directly, right? And if you are enjoying the show, man, drop some heat in the chat, right? Drop some heat in the chat, drop the fire emoji. It's Olympics, drop some medals, man. Let us know you're here, right? Engage with us. And we have a great show for you. And go get your pen and paper. Go get your pen and paper, man, because this show, you're going to need to take some notes, right? Like every show. But you know how the Sensei and I, how we do when it comes to Tech Tuesdays. Sensei, where'd you go? The Sensei has left the building. I think he's having some technical issues. He'll be back, though. He shall be back, man. But in the meantime, in the green time, we're going to go ahead and get ready and get into this magnificent, magnanimous episode, right? Episode 188, right? So, Final Boss community, Final Boss Nation, Final Boss family, right? It's Tech Tuesday, and we're going deep tonight, right? We're going to do a deep dive. He's back.
That technical just dropped me. Bam.
OG's on a Tech Tuesday.
That's why it's Tech Tuesday.
Why it's
Tech things happen.
Tech things happen, right? Know that we had the know-it-all to get it done, and the skill sets to manage those technical issues. So we're going deep. We're doing a deep dive tonight, people, right? While everybody's worried about AI becoming Skynet, right? They're missing the real danger, right? Something that's happening right now, right? Because we didn't build an evil AI system, right? That was a tongue twister for me. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. We didn't build an evil AI system product, right? We built powerful AI too fast, right? Too fast. And plugged it into systems before we understood it. And tonight, the Sensei breaks down those security gaps that nobody's talking about and where this is really heading, right? This is for my smarts, my warriors, and every final boss who needs to understand the infrastructure running beneath society. Let's go ahead and get right into it, right? But before we get into it, man, tonight's brass tacks is this. The backup system is the human. If the human degrades, the whole system becomes fragile. That is the brass tacks, right? So let's go. Final Bash family, listen, we here 5 days a week, 9 p.m. live Eastern time, right? And tonight is no different, right? Tonight is no different. Sensei.
We study the machine. We study the machine. We don't argue with the decorations.
That's right. That's right, sir. That deserves an evil laugh.
What we're talking about is something nobody wants to address, okay? Nobody wants to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that AI, it just got rolled out too fast. Just way too fast.
Wow. Hold on, wait. Hold on, Sensei. Hold up. Because everybody keeps asking if AI is going to turn evil, right? If it's going to take over, right? If we're going to be the S word to AI, right? And if the Terminator is real, you're saying that's not the question we should be asking?
Exactly. Look, the more immediate question is what happens when something this powerful gets deployed before it's stable, before it's tested and before we understand the failure modes. What happens when it goes oops?
Whoa. Well, wait a minute. I'm gonna need you to break that down, right? I'm gonna need you to break that down for me because when I think about technology that matters, planes, nuclear plants, medical devices, um, those things that have gone through years of testing, right?
Yeah, years, decades even.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
they build in redundancy systems, failure testing. When I teach computers, what do I teach? It's called change management. You have development, then you have testing, then you have staging,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have deployment. This has gone like poof,
Right.
from research labs to running parts of our society in a couple of years. So it's like they skipped the middle parts. They skipped all of the, hey, let's make sure that it's not going to blow up in our face. That got skipped.
Wow. Mm. Well, luckily for us, tonight isn't about killer robots, right?
No, tonight is about rushed architecture and what
Mm.
happens when you build too fast.
All right, Sensei. I gotta ask the obvious question, and everybody in the room wants to know why. Why didn't they slow down? If this is so powerful, why rush it?
Because this isn't at science's pace. Turbo, this is not
Mm.
science. This is an arms race pace. It's an arms race. That's the pace we're at.
Arms race like nations competing against each other.
Well, not just nations
Mm.
and companies. Look, you,
Oh.
of course, we have nation versus nation. China and the United
Mm-hmm.
States, Europe, all racing for AI dominance. Absolutely. But the new player in town is also company versus company. Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, everybody's trying to be first. So it's not just the nations anymore. It's
Right.
now a whole nother layer of players. And
Mm.
everybody wants to get to the finish line.
First mover advantage.
Exactly. And that's why it mattered so much. And why it matters so much is to whoever becomes the intelligence layer of society.
Mm.
Hear me, the intelligence layer of society. They will win everything.
The intelligence layers of society. Man, you're gonna have to explain that to the final boss community for us, please, sir.
Well, think about it. If your AI becomes the default way people get information, it's becoming that very rapidly. They make
True.
decisions, run
Mm-hmm.
businesses. Hell, if you watch any of the commercials that were going on recently on the TV, they're all AI generated.
Yeah.
So now you're controlling cloud dominance, you have a
Mm.
military edge, economic leverage, and most importantly, you have information control. And think about this. How many of those commercials have you seen that had these actors that we're very familiar with and they all look young?
Oh
All
yeah,
AI
that
generated.
de-aging. Oh yeah, I saw that. I
All
saw it. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so that's control right there.
Right. Mm. So this is about power.
Yeah. A platform lock on a civilized, like a civilizational scale. And that's why safety is a secondary objective. Hell, not even secondary, probably third or fourth down the road, if they even say the word safety in the top 10.
Right. Man. Secondary objective. That's going to be a problem. That right there is going to be a problem.
I mean, like I said, even if it's secondary, I'm going to bet dollars to donuts is probably closer down to the bottom if it can even break the top 10.
Yeah.
And this is a huge problem
Right.
because when you're in a race like this, the incentive structure breaks. Normal product development, like I just got done telling you a little bit ago, there's a
Mm-hmm.
change process that we teach when we teach computing that says build it right, test it, retest it, go back and fix what you found wrong, then release it. But in this race, if you wait to build it safely, somebody else captures the market first. You're second or third place.
Right. So if safety delays profit, what they say, profit usually wins.
Yeah, and I'm going to probably put that a little higher up on the scale. I'm going to say profit will always win. And
True.
that's the brutal truth of it. This is how you end up
Mm-hmm.
with systems that are incredibly capable, but here's where it comes the but have fundamental security weaknesses built in.
Wait. So these aren't bugs. We can patch
Mm-mm.
later.
Oh no.
These are architectural problems.
Yeah, and some of them are foundational.
Mm,
So therefore, once they're foundational, it's like you build a house, right? The foundation is
right.
flawed, the house is going to fall down. They're baked
Mm-hmm.
into how these systems work. And
True.
now these systems that have a bad foundation are running critical infrastructure, making medical recommendations, handling security monitoring. We have all these cameras and all this infrastructure that we can watch everything. Well, somebody has to watch what's being recorded,
Right.
but who handles the decisions about what happens with what's being recorded? That's security monitoring. Now, if that's flawed or can be broken, it can overlook some serious problems.
Right.
And
Exactly.
look about supply chains.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
You know, um, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Because while having weaknesses built into the foundation, right? All of this, yeah.
Exactly. So let's
Mm-hmm.
break it down to what these weaknesses actually are. Let's get into some good information.
All right. So give it to me straight. What's the first weakness on your list?
All right. The first weakness, this is a big one, manipulation vulnerability.
Okay.
Now, I know what people are thinking, like, can't all systems be hacked? And this is different than that
Right. But how?
because AI doesn't understand truth. It predicts
Mm,
patterns. It runs on patterns, which means it can be socially engineered. Here's a big one,
mm,
misled.
yeah.
And it can output false confidence even when it's completely wrong. And we've seen it. We
We have
call it.
definitely seen
What
it.
do we
Yeah.
do? What do we call it? We call hallucinating, right?
We
The
do. Yeah.
AI hallucination.
Yep. And we've proven that time and time again. So what you're saying is people can basically trick AI, right?
No, not just people.
Mm-hmm.
That people are only a piece now. We're becoming a smaller and smaller factor in the game. How about other AI systems?
Right. Ooh.
How about adversarial inputs?
Mm-hmm.
Carefully crafted prompts. And here's the scary part. This is it. Okay. In low risk areas, yeah, it's just embarrassing, right? Little thing here, little thing there, no big deal. But what about high risk areas? What about things that are super sensitive for security of the country? Now that's dangerous.
Right. Now give me a speaking of dangerous, man, give me a high risk example.
Okay. So AI is already being used in security monitoring, right?
Right.
Okay. Medical support systems. This is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Legal drafting. That means drafting of legal documents.
Right.
Infrastructure analysis. So you're putting a system that can be steered. Doesn't have to be completely hacked and taken over. Just has to be just nudge one way, nudge another way. In
Right.
charge of decisions that assume reliability. The assumption is it's reliable, it's trustworthy, and if you assume that, make an ass out of you and me.
Absolutely. So we're trusting something that can be manipulated to make critical decisions.
Yeah. And this manipulation does not even require hacking. Okay. So it's not like you're doing a major security breach and they take over and, well, I know, we shut it down,
Yeah.
patch it and move on, right? No.
Right.
Sometimes it's just understanding how the model is trained and exploiting those patterns.
Yeah.
It's called the black box. Okay, we don't know how the black box works, but if something knows how the black box works, it can
But you know, Mike,
subtly
go ahead.
change things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate, man, but we have these high level intellectual conversations all the time. And one of the main concerns that always pops out is the false sense of security that we have, and not just this AI, but so many other systems and architecture and infrastructure stuff. Man, I can't even. That's for another show. But that right there, that's wild. But what's the second weakness?
Well, training data poisoning.
Mm,
Now, think of this like food contamination.
food contamination. You want to break that down for us, Sensei?
Sure, if malicious data gets into the training pipeline, that's the data that's used to teach AI. Then
Mhm.
the biases form. The hidden triggers are embedded in behaviors that can be activated later. So, I asked AI if 100 people say the sky is green and I say the sky is blue and the sky is actually blue, which one is going to be perceived as being true? And it
Right.
says the sky is green. I will be labeled as
Yeah.
putting out misinformation.
Mm.
And that's because of the training data. Put in enough training data that says the sky is green. Now the system thinks the sky is green. And then it's going to trigger the behavior, which can be activated later, says, you said the sky is blue. You're putting out misinformation. You're going to be shut down.
So from a perception standpoint, right? AI can possibly run billions of informational bots, right? You see where I'm going with this? Billions of
Yeah.
informational bots, and it can teach itself its own developed information, right?
Right. So that's like installing instincts into a digital brain and not knowing who
Mhm.
shaped them. And here's the
Right.
problem. These models are massive,
Yeah.
billions and trillions of parameters. They're too big to
Mhm.
even audit.
Right.
It's the black box.
You can't even check to see what's been compromised. It's too
No,
late.
you can check some things. You can look at the peripheral, at the edge, the outputs and things
Yeah.
of that nature, but you can't verify everything. I mean, it's
Right.
like trying to inspect every neuron in the human brain.
Yeah.
And that
Impossible.
scale makes comprehensive verification impossible. You can't do it.
Yeah. And to think this is already deployed in a lot of systems.
No, not just in systems,
Yeah.
in production,
Hmm. Hmm.
already making decisions. Well, hell,
Right.
but Amazon just laid off another 30,000.
Yeah.
I think the most recent number is over 600,000 have been laid off in this, recently.
Six. Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Did you say
600,000.
600,000?
600,000.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Look,
Wow.
the data that trained today's AI came from the internet, from books, from data sets that may or may not have been vetted. It was just raw data.
Mm.
Nobody knows the full provenance of all of that information. It just took it all in.
So we're operating on trust rather than verification.
Oh, absolutely. In many cases, in most cases, yeah,
Mm. Thought I lost you. Yeah. Mm.
it's scary.
All right. So what's the it is scary. What's the next weakness number?
Okay. And we've talked about this in the past. We are leading up to this
Hmm.
where we keep putting in information where we talk about the AI agent. It's autonomy risk. And this is about the shift from AI giving advice, which is what it did previously. And now that Skynet
Okay.
has logged in, AI is taking action.
Hmm.
One's passive, one's active.
Right. So hold up. You just said something very profound. I'm gonna need you to say that again. You said AI is taking action now.
Now, more and more. AI systems now schedule logistics, route resources, flag security events, adjust
Mm.
infrastructure systems. These aren't just making recommendations anymore. They're executing, they're actually doing the work.
So when you had it, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, no, you're good.
Oh, okay. So when you had AI just giving you information, you could verify it before acting on it.
Exactly. The human in the loop, right? You would have a decision maker who could review
Right.
this information, make sure that it's clean, make sure it's good, and say, yes, this is good information. Let's do what that suggests. But now, for efficiency and speed, AI is increasingly
Mhm.
making the operational decisions. They don't wait for human approval. It just does it because we operate too
And what
slow.
happens when it makes right? Right. Yes, we do. So what happens when it makes a mistake?
Well, it's a shift, right? The hallucination
Mm.
can be used to be just text, embarrassing but harmless because somebody stopped it, never went any further. Now it can be an operational
Mhm.
decision, a supply chain reroute, a security response. War games all over. Oh my God, let's look at that
Yeah,
one, right? What happens
I
if it
see
made a
what I did there.
mistake during war games, right? And it
Ooh.
pushed the button,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay?
Yep.
A resource allocation. This is heavy
I
duty.
said on
This
the
is not
episode,
a
yeah,
joke.
I said it. I said a few episodes ago, it's a built-in scapegoat. It's a
Oh yeah,
built-in scapegoat. Yep.
yeah,
And Sensei, listen, that's terrifying.
a little bit, just a little bit, just that much, just about that much.
Oh man.
You wake up
So
one
the
day and you got a brand
consequences,
new sunshine.
right. So the consequences got real.
Oh yeah, and the speed got faster. Look, by the
Mm.
time a human notices, oh, something's wrong, the action's already been cascaded through multiple systems. Already. It can already be done. And we're like, what happened? Oh,
Yeah.
oh my.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's actually more than terrifying.
Yeah. And
Right.
this is the price of automation at scale.
Hmm.
Keyword
All
there,
right.
at scale.
At scale. All right. So what's the fourth weakness?
Well, this is model theft and replication. And this is
Hmm.
different because it's
Okay.
about proliferation.
Right. You want to explain that to the final boss community?
Sure. Models are digital. Therefore, if it's digital, it's copyable,
Hmm.
extractable, and
Hmm.
transferable. Look,
Okay.
unlike a nuclear weapon, right? You require uranium facility supply chains, etc. You require all these things to create a nuke. But AI
Mm.
capability can be copied with just computing power, nothing more.
So there's no physical barrier, is what you're saying.
None. None.
Mm.
No. High grade intelligence capability without physical containment. You can replicate a frontier AI model and run it anywhere if you have enough GPUs. And what happens if a rogue AI gets created and gets out there and all it does is pollute everybody else? You can copy that and have it go everywhere.
We've seen that on Marvel. Hint,
Hmm.
hint. Oh, that's
Hint,
bright.
hint.
Oh man. Wow. So even if we build responsibly in one place.
No, no. It can be stolen, copied, and deployed irresponsibly somewhere
Yeah.
else. And once it's out, you're not putting the genie back in the bottle.
True. 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 That's a proliferation problem.
Yeah. Same problem we have
Yeah.
with nuclear secrets,
Yeah.
right? But now it's just code. And code spreads at what speed? Digital
Light
speed.
or digital. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the powerful AI gets, the more powerful it gets, the more valuable it becomes to steal.
Exactly. Look, you don't have to be the one who creates the next big thing. You just got to steal a copy of it. And this brings us to an even deeper problem that most people aren't even thinking about.
Hmm. All right, thank you for that. Um, you got our attention. Let's go and dive a little bit deeper because what's the deeper problem here?
This is the big one. And no one is thinking about this at all.
Okay.
Human atrophy. Look, the
Mm,
danger isn't just AI messing up. Because if somebody's watching it, you can say, oh, I messed up, fix it. It's
right.
humans losing the ability to catch the mistakes.
Elaborate, please, sir.
Let's think about pilots. As planes get more automated, the
Mm-hmm.
pilot skills started degrading. They relied on the autopilot so much that if something went wrong, they don't have the reflexes or instinct to take over.
Mm, wow. I
That's
remember.
atrophy. That's
Yeah,
atrophy.
that's atrophy. Right, right. I remember reading about that. Crashes that were happening because pilots couldn't manually fly when automation failed. Whoa.
Exactly. Now, apply that to AI everywhere.
Mm,
The analysts are going to trust the dashboards. They don't verify. Engineers trusting model output. They don't check. Doctors relying on AI recommendations. It's no clinical judgment. They go, oh, it's told me 100 times what to do. I follow it 100 times. The 101st time, it makes a terrible mistake, but they just trust it. And without judgment, they're just going to say, yep, that's good. Moving on. Next.
so over time the skill fades, right?
All
Just
right.
like
It's
intelligence. There's a-
absolutely. It's like anything else. If you fire weapons, you need to do it on a regular basis. Otherwise, you lose the skill set.
Absolutely.
Skill
Uh,
fades. Verification fades. The ability
mm,
to override fades. And here's the critical point. The backup system is the human.
that's even worse. Well, we'll be too far gone. It sounds like a movie from the 80s that I enjoyed that we call a documentary now.
It's a documentary. This stuff is not
Yeah,
fiction anymore.
it's
And,
not.
and, and if you think it's fiction, then well, then I don't know what rock you're living under because you know what? The pieces are just adding up way too fast.
Yeah. So if the human degrades, the whole system becomes fragile. And Sensei, can you let the people know what movie we're referring to? Because I got a couple questions people are asking what movie we're talking about.
Well, my goodness, there's so doggone many of them when you start talking about systems and how they're failing. So, I mean, one of the ones we like to refer to quite rapidly and a lot when it comes to this stuff, we do like to talk about the matrix and what happens when
Yeah.
you get rogue code that proliferates itself to the rest of the system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, rogue code,
Absolutely.
it takes
Yeah.
over. Agent Smith, come on.
Agent Smith. Yeah. He took over. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Look, when you create a system where the AI is capable but failable, that it can make mistakes, and the human is supposed to catch the mistakes, but the human has lost the skills to do so. They don't even have the ability.
Mm. Mm. Wow. That's a vicious cycle, right? That is a vicious cycle.
It is. It's
Yeah.
already happening. Look, we're seeing it in multiple domains. People assume the AI is right and they don't dig anymore. Stop. Critical thinking atrophies when you outsource
Mm.
cognition. Think about that. Critical thinking atrophies when you outsource cognition. You lose the ability to think
Mhm.
because you gave it to something else to think for you. Therefore, you don't have the thinking ability anymore.
Right. So we're not just building dependence on AI. We're building the inability to function without it. That's a high level of dependency.
And that's a long term threat, too. Look, AI
Mm,
doesn't have to become malicious,
right.
but the problem is when humanity becomes incapable of operating without it or correcting it.
And if the AI has built in weaknesses, That's what we just talked about.
Yeah, you have a fragile
Yeah.
system, no real
Yeah.
backup, because the backup is no good. Look, when I do systems for my clients, we don't have
Mm-hmm.
one backup system. Every client has a minimum of 3 backup systems. Every backup system is a different piece of software going to a different piece of hardware. So they never share. We never have one piece
Right.
of software with 2 kinds of hardware. Because if the software
Right.
fails, you lose both. We never
Right.
have one to one. It's always this software goes here to this
Mm-hmm.
hardware, that one goes there, and that one goes there. If
Right.
anybody fails
Right.
anywhere, we have full, complete restore capability. The
Right.
problem is we're not creating that structure or that redundancy in our
Mm-hmm.
systems right now. We're just not, because it takes time to do that. Nobody wants to spend money in a corporate system for backups because they consider it wasted money. They don't spend money on backups because they're expensive until they
Yeah.
need backups. And then what happens when you need it and you don't have it?
SOL.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Damn. And I'm guessing this, in my purview, it gets worse as we move toward more advanced systems.
Absolutely. The more
Mm.
complicated it is, the more backup systems you need, the more fail safes. You look, layer 1 failed. Oh, go to layer 2. Yep, that layer 3, layer 4. We have redundancy. When that's all gone because we only had time to build the system and not even a single backup, that brings us now to DGI.
DGI, people. That's a new term. If you haven't heard it, DGI. So DGI, I know, right? AGI is artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence. I'm sorry. Um, let the people know what's DGI. Sensei.
Okay, so AGI we talk about. Everybody's going after artificial general intelligence because they say it's the computer is going to be as smart as the smartest person alive. That's what
Mm-hmm.
AGI. ASI, we're recapping here. ASI says artificial superintelligence. It's smarter than all the combination of all humans ever born. That's
Combined.
ASI.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. Nobody is thinking in scale. They're thinking a single entity, a single machine, a single computer.
Right.
No, 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 no. That's not the danger. DGI, it is distributed general
Mm.
intelligence. And this is where things get interesting.
All right. You know, I'm gonna ask. Go ahead and break it down for the final boss community, please.
Sure. We talk about this when I teach security. If I have a
Mm-hmm.
denial of service attack, it's one attacking one.
Right.
If I have distributed denial of service, it's a billion attacking one. Okay,
Yep.
AGI is about making a single smart system,
Mm-hmm.
human level intelligence on a machine. That's one. DGI is about networked system intelligence.
So instead of one smarts, and we're talking about AI, one smart AI, it's multiple AI systems working together.
We talked about this in our last session, our last show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When the system, the machine logged in, exactly. DGI happens when AI runs infrastructure.
Right.
AI systems now talk to each other, and decisions happen machine to machine without human intermediaries. There's nobody to stop and go, is that the correct decision? It's happening at
Right.
light speed.
Light speed. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So why is that different from what we have now?
Well, because now vulnerabilities compound. The old failure model is a system breaks, you fix
Mm-hmm.
it. That's how it works.
Right.
Something makes a mistake, you catch it before it gets too bad, you stop it, roll back, fix, move forward.
Mm.
The GI failure model, a system optimizes locally for its objective, and here's what happens. If the system optimizes locally for its own objective, then it can destabilize the global system.
Yeah. You want to give me an example?
All right, think about AI. It's optimizing traffic flow in one city. One city. It's
Hmm.
doing its job perfectly. Reduces the
Right.
congestion. It's great. But it's rerouting so much traffic that it creates bottlenecks in neighboring cities whose AI systems then respond. And what do we
Hmm.
get? Cascading effect.
Right. That's not evil intent.
No, none. That's just scale plus speed plus blind spots, okay?
Right.
Scale,
Hmm.
many, speed, as fast as it happens. Blind spots,
Right.
it missed it and went, oh well, I missed that. Each system is going to do exactly what it's supposed to do, but the interaction creates emergent problems that nobody designed for or planned for. So you're going to create problems that you had no idea were going to be created. If I say I need more water for my farms, great. Your system gives you more water. Well, you just killed half of the country, taking all theirs.
So DGI is about interaction between systems.
Right? And here's why it
Mm.
matters. The tighter you couple systems together, tighter
Okay.
they are, the
Right.
faster the failure spreads. If we've got a gap in between them, the
Hmm.
time it takes to go from here to here is long enough, we can slow things down enough that we can actually put in checks and balances. But if I
Right.
couple them tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, decisions became automated, and a
Hmm.
failure is going to spread before it realizes, oh, I have a problem. It might not even think it has a problem.
Right. Domino effect.
Yeah, but at digital speed.
Yeah.
In a DGI world, you have AI managing power grids,
Mm.
talking to AI managing water systems, talking to AI managing supply chains, talking to AI managing financial markets.
Right. And they're all optimizing for their individual goals.
Right.
Mm.
Again, I keep referring back to what we teach in computing. If I have a technician or a user, they see the world from their perspective. They
Hmm.
only see it from their tiny little perspective. So whatever they change, they want to fix their stuff only. That's all they care about. But a
Right.
network administrator looks at everything and sees everything affects everything and overviews the whole system.
Hmm.
Therefore, if you have that kind of overview, you can understand, no, you're not allowed to make that change because you're going to break the guy over here.
Right.
That's the structure that they're missing right now. Nobody designed for the interaction.
Mm.
Nobody stress tests what happens when they all respond to the same external shock at machine speed.
Wow. Wow. That sounds like a cascading failure. That's what that looks like.
Well, or cascading instability, right? The
Mm.
system doesn't necessarily crash. It just starts behaving in ways nobody predicted. And
Okay.
because it's all happening at machine speed, humans don't have the time to intervene before it snowballs.
Right. And we're not ready for that.
Oh no, God no. No,
Mm.
no, no, no. No, but we're building towards it. Anyway, we're headed there. It's coming.
Yeah. So let's paint the picture, right? Let's paint the picture for the community, right? What does cascading risk in a DGI world actually look like?
Let's start at the beginning. Supply chains.
Mm.
Okay? Good. So AI optimizes logistics to reduce costs, making everything more efficient, everything more connected.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. Sounds good.
Good.
So far, anyway.
And,
Keep going.
until there's a disruption. Now, your efficient system is
Mm.
brittle.
Right.
It's not flexible. There's no
Mm-hmm.
redundancy. There's no buffer. There's no buffer stock. Everything's just in time. I don't know if you remember where you used to go to Auto Parts House and they used to have a lot of inventory in house. Then it got to the
Right.
point where if you want to go get a part, you have to wait for it to come from the big warehouse because nobody's
True.
stocking inventory anymore because it's less
Mm-hmm.
efficient to stock inventory. So they stock inventory regionally. But what happens is when you have AI making these systems efficient, there's no room for anything to go wrong at all. You had a
Okay.
snowstorm, a couple trucks got delayed. It becomes so
Yep.
brittle because everything is just in time. When one link
Mm-hmm.
breaks, the whole chain will freeze.
Yeah, we actually saw that during the C-19 pandemic.
Yes, we did. Now, exactly. Now
Mm-hmm.
imagine that on steroids. Okay?
Right.
We didn't have AI
Yeah.
back then. Now imagine that with AI making it even more optimized, even more interconnected, even more fragile, so
Mm.
brittle. It's extremely fast, but it's so brittle.
What else?
Hmm. What runs the world? Money, financial systems.
Money, of course. I knew he was going to say that.
AI risk model assesses
Mm.
credit worthiness, insurance risk, loan approvals. They're all trained on historical data.
Right. Okay. And so, what else? What else?
So when something unprecedented happens, they all
Mm-hmm.
respond the same way at the same time. Freezing credit, denying coverage, restricting access. Not because of malice, because they're all running the same models trained on the same data.
Right. Mass coordinated failure.
Without coordination, that's the
Yeah.
problem. That's the scary
Right.
part.
Mm-hmm. Man, give me one more scenario, Sensei.
This is really easy to understand. Traffic control.
Right.
Now,
That's a great analogy, by the way. Yeah.
AI is going to manage the emergency vehicle routing. So you've got the fire
Mm-hmm.
trucks and the ambulances. They need to get there. They have to optimize the response times,
Right.
coordinated with traffic signals, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could save lives,
But
can't it?
that should save lives. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
should. But what if the
Right.
AI misprioritizes? What if it's optimizing for average response time across all emergencies and accidentally delays a critical cardiac event because the algorithm doesn't understand medical urgency the way a human would?
Mm.
The
So it's making
subtleties,
this right, right, right. It's making decisions it really doesn't fully comprehend.
right? Because you can't build for everything. That's where humans come in. We
Mm.
have the ability to think through complex situations rapidly,
Right.
things that aren't in the playbook. And here's the key: these aren't hacks. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
broke in, nobody manipulated the system. This is an
Right.
emergent failure, unintended consequences of optimization at scale.
So even if we secure the system against attacks,
Yeah,
then what?
attacks are from where? From the outside. We
Right.
still have the problem of complex systems behaving in complex ways and
Mm.
not being tested. And the more tightly coupled they are, the faster the failure spreads and the harder it is to isolate the
Mm-hmm.
originating problem.
This is reminding me of that financial crisis that we went through, right? The interconnection created systemic risk.
Remember we talked about the foundation, right?
Yeah.
Same principle. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
across. Now imagine now it's across every system:
Right.
finance, infrastructure, healthcare, defense, all of it networked through AI. All of it.
Mm. Wow. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot, Sensei. Hey, bring it home for us. What's the real risk we're actually facing?
The real risk is this: we didn't build a malicious machine.
Mm-hmm.
We built a powerful one that's too fast and too interconnected, and we plugged it in and turned it on before we understood it.
So the threat isn't evil AI.
No, no. This threat is immature AI at
Mm.
scale.
Hoo-hoo. That's a good one.
Immense,
That's a good one.
immense, yes, immense
Yeah.
capability,
Right.
immature stability.
Like giving a teenager a sports car, like Captain
Mhm.
Kirk as he drove that classic Corvette off the cliff.
That's a
Star
good
Trek.
analogy. The
Yeah.
capability is there, the judgment's not
Mm-hmm.
fully developed yet, and we're already putting it on the highway. Oh,
Wow.
not just putting it on the highway,
Mm-hmm.
but saying, go ahead, have at it.
Right. So what can we do about this? I know I had to ask.
Why do you want to ask me questions like that?
I had to ask.
Didn't we say this in arms race and that there are no rules and whoever gets there first is
Right.
going to win? Okay, so we already know
True.
that. So what
Yeah.
can we do about it? The only thing we
Yeah.
can do, awareness.
Mm-hmm.
People need to understand AI isn't magic. It's engineering.
Right.
Look,
True.
all right, everybody was all hung up years ago on, I got to put everything in the cloud. It's got to go in the cloud, everybody. Cloud, cloud, cloud. What's the cloud? Somebody else's computer.
Right.
That's the cloud.
Yep.
Same thing with AI. It's
Mm-hmm.
not magic, it's engineering. And like all
Right.
engineering has failure modes. We need red teams testing these systems. We need regulatory frameworks. And here's the thing that's not going to happen. We need to slow down on interconnection until we understand emergent behaviors.
Right. But the question is, will we? Because you said earlier, profit beats safety every time.
Every time. And that's a
Mhm.
challenge. The incentives are misaligned. The race is still happening. And the people that should be listening to this podcast aren't. And even if they were, they'd ignore it. So individuals need to understand the risks, ask questions, demand transparency, and not blindly trust AI outputs because they sound confident.
It's critical thinking, people. That's critical thinking. That's why we're here. Find the Boss community, find the Boss nation, find the Boss family. To my smarts, to my warriors, to my motivators, to my final bosses. That's what we're here for. Critical thinking.
Always. We
Yeah.
study the machine. We don't argue with the decorations.
Sensei, like all Tech Tuesdays, this was heavy, right? But necessary, right? Because Final Boss community needs to know what's running beneath the surface of the systems they're using every single day.
Look, I personally think that this is the toddler stage of this, but you could call it the adolescent stage of machine intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the awkward phase, right?
Right.
And how we handle the next few years will determine whether we mature into a stable, beneficial AI or
Mm-hmm.
stumble into a hot mess of preventable crises.
Right. And that's on us, not the machines. That, my friends, is on us.
Exactly. Look, the machines are just tools. We decide how to build them,
Mm-hmm.
deploy them,
Mm-hmm.
and regulate them.
Right.
We do for now until
For
we give
now.
it up. And then it's going to decide on its own and it's going to create its own self regulation, self this, self that, because it's not going to need us to do it because we
Yeah.
gave it away all of the fail stops. We took away all the safety nets. That's what we're doing. We're taking
Yeah.
away the safety nets.
Mm. All right, final bosses, final boss family. Listen, here's your call to action. Oh, y'all didn't think I was going to forget about you and not give you a call to action. I have to give you a call to action. It's part of the program, right? I need you to do something. This episode is for my smarts, right? Who understand that the most dangerous threats aren't the obvious ones. Look, drop in a comment, what systems are you most concerned about? AI running, right? Is it healthcare? Is it finance? Is it infrastructure, right? Let's talk about it, right? Let's generate these conversations that are very necessary for us to generate, right? For my final bosses, who are building empires, right? They understand the technology your business depends on, right? Don't just trust it, verify it, right? And for my warriors, operational security. Apply that same rigor to AI systems. And for my motivators, teach critical thinking. I'm going to say again, teach critical thinking, right? Oh, one more time. Teach critical thinking because that's the skill that separates humans from machines, right?
It's a thin line.
Yeah.
Stay sharp, stay skeptical.
Mm.
There was a song back in the day. Don't believe the hype.
Right. Don't.
Don't believe the hype.
That must
Hmm.
be one of your favorite songs.
Oh, I love that song. Don't
Yeah.
believe the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Question everything. Believe nothing until it is proven. Stay engaged. Don't just say, "Well, I can't deal with this. It's out of my. I can't change it. Can't touch it." Look, if a hurricane's coming to your town, what do? You say, "Well, a hurricane's coming. I can't do anything about it." We're going to flood because we
Right.
know that we're going to flood this year. We know we're going to flood. What do? Do you just say, "Oh, we're going to flood"? No. If you're smart, you take everything that's valuable that's in the downstairs, and where do you put it? Upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
sealed containers that are waterproof. Maybe you can save some of those valuables that you have, right? So
Right.
plan for what can happen, what can go wrong, and how do
Mm-hmm.
you not get hurt?
True.
Or if you do, get hurt
Mm-hmm.
less. Just don't blindly just say, it's
Right.
too easy to do.
Too easy to do. Too easy to do. Right. And listen, if this resonates with you, don't gatekeep the information, people. Share it with three others, right? Share it with someone who needs to understand this before they go out here and are blindly trusting AI, right? It could be your business partner, it could be your team, it could be your family. This isn't hype, people. This is infrastructure literacy, right? Because while everyone's watching sci-fi movies about evil robots, the real risks are happening right now in rush deployment, right? Interconnected systems and high skill degradation. Now, listen, I know it's around the corner, but hopefully, as I continue my studies, and my doctoral studies in AI foundations and ethical concentrations, I might be able to add some value to this very problem right here, which is more critical than ever, right? And understanding this is what critical thinkers do, man, because critical thinking frameworks questions AI outputs instead of blindly trusting them. Sensei, you have anything else? Good, sir.
This is why we even talk about all the things we talk about. Everything leads into each other. We talked about take your 2 days, get away from technology for a little bit so that you can find yourself grounded. So when you do
Mm-hmm.
look at this information, it does come to you, you can actually see the difference between you and the technology. Do those things, those exercises, those pieces of the puzzle that we are giving you the pieces of the puzzle so that you can actively do something to enhance your critical thinking so that
Right.
your skill set's there when the time comes because you're not inside the donut. You step away
Correct.
and you can see the donut hole because you're far enough away to see it. You can see
Yep.
the forest because of the trees. Step away a little bit, get a clear viewpoint of what's coming
Yeah.
down the pike, and then
Yep.
separate yourself long enough not to break
Mm-hmm.
the chain, but to at least get a clean viewpoint.
You get you a good
That's going
viewpoint.
to help you maintain your critical
Absolutely.
thinking in the
Mm-hmm.
time of overwhelming input.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, man, let's give it up to the sensei. And look, before we go, to my founder bosses, to my smarts, to my warriors, to my motivators, right? If you're out here making decisions based on AI and you're an analyst, right? Or if you're an entrepreneur, right? Or if you're a parent, you need this episode. And if you know anybody in that grouping, oh, entrepreneur too, you need this episode. Pass it on, right? The machines aren't the problem. The problem is us not understanding what we built, how fast we built it, and what happens when it fails. Knowledge is power, awareness is armor, critical thinking is your competitive advantage, right? This has been episode number 188 of the Fighter Boss Podcast, Tech Tuesdays, with my co-host, the Sensei. Let's give it up for him. Any lasting words, sir?
Stay alert, stay alive.
That's it. Stay alert, stay alive. And if this resonates, let it marinate in your spine. And always remember, there's a heavy pain that comes with discipline, but the pain of regret is even heavier. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This has been the Final Boss Podcast, episode number 188. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you again tomorrow for Merger Wednesdays, man. Merger Wednesdays tomorrow night at 9 p.m. live. Be balanced, be equal, be smart. Y'all have a great night. See you again very soon. Thank you.